My name is Jack Palmer, and I never thought my family would have to live through a siege in the middle of suburbia. But that's exactly what happened, all over a single lavender plant. Our neighborhood had rules, sure, but nobody expected those rules to come backed with tactical gear, night raids, and surveillance drones. Least of all me. But my wife, Alana, she saw it coming. Because Alana wasn't just a mom, or a gardener, or my wife. She was a former Green Beret sniper, and they picked the wrong family to mess with. Started small. A lavender plant, potted in a rust-colored clay pot, sitting peacefully by our mailbox. Alana planted it the day after we moved into the Oak Hollow subdivision. Said it made the place feel like home. Our son, Tyler, 14 going on 30, didn't care as long as the Wi-Fi worked and the fridge stayed stocked. I thought we'd finally found a place where we could relax. Alana called it good sightlines. A week later, we got the first letter. No stamp, no envelope, just slid under our door like a ransom note. Violation of HOA Code 12. Unauthorized plant arrangement. Lavender. Alana read it once and said, "They're probing." I laughed. "What, they're allergic to purple?" She didn't laugh back. "They're testing the perimeter." We ignored it. It was just a flower. But 2 days later, another letter came. This time with a photo. Black and white, nighttime shot, zoomed in on our mailbox and the lavender. Somebody had been out there at night documenting our crime. Alana taped it to the fridge like it was a wanted poster. "Now they're watching," she said. The next day, the HOA's enforcer showed up in person. A woman named Beverly. Beige polo shirt, clipboard tight to her chest, smile sharper than a razor. "Good morning," she chirped. "I'm here to help you resolve your non-compliance issue." Alana's smile didn't reach her eyes. "I didn't know we were at war." Beverly didn't blink. "Lavender isn't on the approved species list. It creates visual inconsistency and may attract stinging insects. That's a liability risk." I started to argue, but Beverly raised her hand like a traffic cop. "The board has already spoken." Alana just stared at her. "Let me know when the board sends someone taller than your clipboard." Beverly blinked once, then turned and walked away like she'd just won. That night, Alana started the first drill. She handed Tyler a pool noodle and told him to patrol the backyard. "Roll, scan, sweep." "This isn't Kandahar," Tyler groaned. "Neither was the last place they tried to bully me out of," Alana said. The letters kept coming. The third one had a fine. The fourth warned of enforcement pending. The fifth came with a red sticker on our door, "Final review." That night, Alana opened the basement and pulled out a black case I hadn't seen since we met. She didn't open it. She didn't need to. Then came the boots. I heard them before I saw them. 3 pairs, steady, deliberate. Not stomping, not rushing, just walking like they owned the place. I crouched behind the curtain, peeking out. 3 men in black uniforms, gear too new, boots too clean. They moved like they'd watched too many action movies. "They're not pros," Alana murmured beside me. "Look at the guy with the knee pads. That's your breacher. Watch his hands." "He's here to kick the door," I whispered. Alana was already pulling on her boots. "Shouldn't we call someone?" I asked, panic rising. She gave me that look, the one that said, "If you're going to try to stop me, pick a better moment." I stepped aside. The first knock wasn't loud, but it wasn't friendly. 3 sharp raps like a summons. I cracked the door open. "Are you?" "You're in active violation of HOA Regulation 12.4, the leader said, clipboard under his arm. "We're here to initiate final compliance procedures." Alana stepped past me like she was walking out to get the mail. "Final procedures?" That's a big phrase for a man wearing fake patches and knockoff Oakleys. The breacher edged toward the flower bed. The third guy circled wide toward the driveway. "They're boxing us in," Alana whispered. "Watch their hands." Clipboard guy cleared his throat. "Failure to evacuate will escalate the process." "What process?" Alana asked. "The one where you trip over your own shoelaces on camera before I zip tie you to my mailbox?" They didn't see her move. One moment she was there. The next, gone. A step back into the hedges. Disappeared. Then the sprinklers fired not water, but clouds of chalk dust. Blinding burning. 2 men staggered, coughing. The third raised a taser, too slow. Alana dropped from the tree limb and hit him square in the back. Taser clattered to the ground. "Mom?" Tyler's voice cracked from the stairwell, phone in hand, filming. Alana didn't answer. She was already on the second guy, disarming and zip-tying him in one motion. The third man backed up fast, hands up, eyes red from the chalk storm. "We're HOA contractors," he sputtered. "This isn't." Alana stepped closer, yanked the clipboard from under his arm, and flipped it open. Coordinates. Satellite photos. Notes on our routines. When we left the house. When we watered the lavender. At the bottom, Phase 1. Contact. Phase 2. Removal. Phase 3. Asset recovery. Tyler leaned in. "Asset recovery?" Alana's voice was flat. "They've been tracking us." We sat the three men down on the porch. Alana stripped their radios, dumped their gear in the garden bucket. Tyler helped without a word. "This wasn't the main team," Alana said. "This was recon. And somewhere out there, their boss was still watching." Alana laid the clipboard on the patio table like it was evidence in a trial. I paced the porch, my hands trembling, not from fear exactly, but from the realization that I had completely underestimated the storm we were standing in the middle of. Tyler hovered near the porch steps, his phone still recording, the glare of the screen lighting up the worry written across his face. "These guys aren't the point," Alana said, her voice low but sharp. "They're just the first wave. Whoever sent them thinks we'll roll over easy. They're measuring our resistance." I stared at the papers, the coordinates, the surveillance details. "How long do you think they've been watching?" "Long enough to know my morning coffee habits," she replied, flipping through the notes without looking up. Tyler finally broke the tension. "So what do we do now?" Alana's eyes narrowed. "We prepare." And that's exactly what we did. Alana transformed her home into a defense grid overnight. Motion sensors, perimeter tripwires, fallback zones marked with spray paint and tiny flags. Tyler helped set up cameras while I dug out the old CB radios from the garage. By sunrise, we had zones mapped, patrol rotations scheduled, and drills running like clockwork. But Alana wasn't just thinking about our backyard. She started digging into the HOA records. What she found made my stomach drop. Payments routed through shell companies. Security contractors with no legitimate licensing. Neighborhood fees being funneled into operations with vague descriptions like compliance actions and property integrity enforcement. "This isn't about plants," she said. "It never was. This is about control. About testing how much they can take before someone fights back." Tyler's jaw clenched. "So they're just going to keep coming?" Alana nodded. "Yes. Unless we make sure they can't." She wasn't wrong. The next week was quiet. Too quiet. The kind of quiet that presses down on your chest. Beverly stopped waving when she drove by. Neighbors avoided eye contact. Flyers started showing up in mailboxes, folded neatly, printed in ominous block letters. "Neighborhood unity is everyone's duty. Those who disrupt harmony invite removal." No logo. No signature. But the message was clear. We stayed ready. Alana ramped up the drills. Tyler and I got faster, sharper, learning to read her signals, to trust the plan. She wasn't just preparing us for another raid, she was building a team. And then the drone showed up. It buzzed over our backyard one evening, quiet but deliberate, hovering just above the tree line. Black frame, military-grade rotors, red lens tracking every move we made. Tyler was the first to spot it. "Mom," he called, pointing up. "We've got company." Alana didn't hesitate. She grabbed the rake from the porch, swung hard, and knocked the drone out of the sky like it was nothing more than a plastic toy. It crashed into the rose bushes, sparking once before going still. The next morning, another flyer. Phase 2 evaluation in progress. We knew what that meant. They weren't done. And they weren't playing. Alana doubled our security sweep. We wired the perimeter lights to a backup generator. Set up emergency signals. She taught Tyler how to disarm basic surveillance tech and gave me crash courses in field tactics. I was exhausted, but I could feel the purpose in every move she made. She wasn't letting this happen to us. Not again. Not without a fight. And then came the second wave. It happened just after 2 a.m. The sensors flipped from green to red, silent but clear. Alana was already out of bed. Vest strapped, boots on, headset clipped in. I scrambled after her, adrenaline drowning out the fatigue. 5 approaching, she whispered into the mic. "Formation tight. Gear standard issue, no visible IDs. The yard lit up as the floodlights kicked in. The intruders tried to hold their positions, but the chalk mist fired from the sprinklers again, blinding them, forcing them to stumble and cough. Alana moved like a shadow, fast and precise. Within seconds, 2 were disarmed, zip-tied, face down on the ground. One of them managed to shout into a radio before Tyler disabled it with a quick snatch hand toss into the koi pond. The others backed off, trying to retreat, but Alana wasn't letting them off that easy. Not this time. We held the line, and the whole thing was caught on camera. This time, Alana didn't wait for the HOA to spin the story. She uploaded the footage herself. Clear, unedited, timestamped. No narration, no drama. Just the truth. The video spread like wildfire. Neighbors shared it. Local news picked it up. It hit social media hard. The comments were brutal. What kind of HOA needs night raids? Is this a neighborhood or a dictatorship? The board tried to downplay it, calling it a compliance simulation. Beverly even put out a statement claiming it was pre-approved security training. But people weren't buying it. Not this time. Alana didn't stop there. She tracked the payment trails, linked the shell companies back to Beverly and the other board members. Exposed the contracts, the paper trail, the emails. By the time the special HOA meeting rolled around, the damage was done. The board tried to rally, but half the seats were empty. Neighbors were speaking out, demanding answers. Beverly stepped down 2 weeks later, officially for personal reasons. But we knew better. We stayed vigilant after that. The flyers stopped. The surveillance vanished. But Alana never let us drop our guard completely. Because power like that doesn't just go away. It hides. It waits. And when it knocks again, we'll be ready.